Okay, this is going to be a demonstration of an LLM, and I'm just recording it right now with a 360 codec Pix Pro Orbit 360 4K camera. So you can click on the remote control on YouTube or on the player to see what's going on, and I'll target it towards the screen where I'm starting to run the program that is called MSN Recorder Max. And I want to use the try version, the free version. Start recording it and select the full screen and copy the full screen into my notes. So I want to copy it, start the recording, and then I'm going to embed it in the file name that I've created in my notepad. So I'm going to pop over the notepad Here is my notepad, and I'm going to revise it because I've done it already earlier today. So this will be the second version. So I have two video files embedded in the file name that are dealing with the same issue, and that is the join function of the playback, the chat function on Notebook LM that you can see here is a Blackboard Ultra versus Canvas LMS, which is a Learning Management System Platform Evaluation. And we are going to listen to the playback and join the discussion. But before I do that, I want to add several other recording facilities. Right now, I have this recording facility, which is MSN Recorder Max. And I'm going to place it in the very corner here so it doesn't take so much real estate. And in addition to that, I want to add also Loom, which is a cloud recorder. So I'm going to double click the Loom item. I want to get the camera to work, and then I want to start the recording on Loom and start the playback. So you can see, one other thing that I did forget is the PSAR, Problem Step Recorder, which I want to add to the mix. So I want to verify, first of all, that it is set up with 999 number of recent screen captures to store. And I click OK. And then I click the new recording message. And then I add a comment with my notes. PSAR.txt stands for Problem Step Recorder, and I put the video file name that includes the string, my video, then the date, and then the time.mpeg, and I click OK. At this point, I'm ready to play back that Notebook LM and join the discussion as an expert in the topic of Blackboard versus Canvas LMS platform evaluation. So I'm clicking the right arrow button.
All right, so today we're diving into, well, let's call it a unique blend of information. It's pulled from a YouTube video.
And I clicked on the interactive version, which is beta, and then I click on play audio, the right arrow to continue the playback. I clicked once and nothing happened. So
all right, so today
I clicked the second
we're diving
time.
into, well, let's call it a unique blend of information. It's pulled from a YouTube video with a, a pretty loaded title. OnTrial.co 305-668-7245. ARush's live broadcast draw rush at gmail.com expert witness litigation.
Yeah, you can say that again. It's from a channel called ARush. And what we've got here seems to be a recording of some kind of class or lecture.
Exactly, and it really jumps around from like the nitty-gritty, of course, logistics to, get this, vanity phone numbers.
It's a real grab bag of topics, and we're going to make sense of it all, highlighting the most fascinating and hopefully useful bits for you.
Right, so
Hey there.
This
Wanna
is a
share your thoughts on
vanity.
this?
This is a vanity number like 800 Chat GPT that is calling an AI caller.
that's a great way to put it. It absolutely touches on that concept of a memorable, easily recalled number.
Exactly. The video we're looking at even brings up 1-800-CHAT-GPT as a prime example of this idea.
So you're spot on. It's about using a phone number that's not just digits, but also has a meaning or spells something out.
And as you pointed out,
Oh yeah, let's hear it.
Yeah, it displays the business theme that AI now is on trial in the courtroom and in the classroom.
that's a really insightful way to look at it.
Absolutely. It seems this instructor is navigating that very intersection.
We're seeing AI move from theory to practical application, and that brings both excitement and scrutiny.
Almost like a trial period, as you said, in both business and education.
What's fascinating here is how this course seems to be embracing that shift head on.
They're not shying away from integrating AI tools into the learning process.
Which, if we connect this to the bigger picture, reflects a broader trend in many fields.
Okay, and speaking of the classroom, oh boy, are they strict about absences?
Yeah, no last minute, I forgot, excuses will fly here.
You need a doctor's note, and it has to be provided before class.
No exceptions. It sounds like proactive communication is key.
Absolutely, and group work is a big deal, but with a twist.
The twist is that individual participation is heavily emphasized.
So it's not enough for the group to succeed.
Everyone has to pull their weight and is graded individually.
Now here's where it gets really interesting.
They encourage students to really utilize those class recordings.
Yeah, and not just passively rewatching them.
They suggest using them to pinpoint where you got stuck with a concept.
So you can then formulate more specific questions.
That's a clever way to turn recordings into active learning tools.
Totally. Okay, now for a sign of the times, they bring up AI tools.
Yeah, and not just in passing.
They're already talking about using AI for summarizing content.
And future assignments might require students to critically engage with AI,
Maybe even critiquing its output or using it as a starting point for a blog post.
with the clear instruction to always refine and improve the AI's work.
It's about smart augmentation, not replacement.
Right, a forward-thinking way to incorporate AI into education, echoing your point about the classroom trial.
Definitely. Moving on, they discuss creating shared folders for assignments,
And the final presentations are going to be online.
with a group spotlighting element, whatever that fully entails.
First, initial feedback, then the formal final presentation will be cloud recorded.
Accessible to everyone without a password, emphasizing ease of sharing.
And it seems like they have a solid support system with TAs.
Sebastian and Daniel are the go-to guys for technical issues.
Someone named Soren had a problem with an audit tab.
And there's talk of bringing Thomas into TA training.
A nice layered approach to student support, making sure everyone can keep up tech-wise.
It also suggests they're always striving to improve the course.
Having more TAs and reviewing assignments early.
Now, deadlines, that's another thing they emphasize.
Big time. Setting up a YouTube Live account requires 24 hours.
And the next group assignment will use advanced Zoom features.
Oh, sounds interesting, and it shows online learning is evolving.
Right. Classes are cloud recorded and accessible through Blackboard.
And they're even trying to simultaneously record to YouTube Live.
It's all about options and flexibility for the students.
And attendance is tracked online with volunteer chat moderator.
Yep, go on.
Flexibility also for the instructor that can incorporate AI and can co-teach with AI and take a break from every now and then.
You've hit on a key point there.
Absolutely. The instructor in this video does emphasize flexibility.
They mention that different courses can have varying degrees of synchronous versus asynchronous learning.
For example, they suggest that a math course could potentially be almost entirely asynchronous.
So that built-in flexibility for different subjects seems important.
And your point about the instructor using AI to take cottage or a break is interesting.
While this video doesn't explicitly detail instructors using AI in that way,
It definitely hints at the potential for AI to assist with various tasks,
they talk about AI summarizing content and helping with study guides.
which could free up some instructor time for other things perhaps.
Okay, so with that in mind, let's touch on where these recordings are available.
They mentioned the recordings being uploaded to the group's audit area.
Okay, so a good sense of the course structure and expectations.
Right. Now for something with even wider implications, touching on the trial of AI in business.
Let's talk hardware and AI, which ties into our earlier chat about AI callers.
Yes, the meat of the matter.
They focus on hardware powering our digital world, especially with demanding AI,
And they bring up DeepSeek, which allows AI tasks on less powerful hardware.
which could relate to fluctuations in NVIDIA's stock.
Right, software efficiency impacting hardware demand.
Exactly.
Oh, back to our listener. What's up?
Also for local host, when there is no internet, you can run it locally on a local host.
That's a really important point about local hosting.
It absolutely brings up the crucial aspect of accessibility,
This video doesn't go into the details of local hosting AI.
but it's definitely a key consideration, especially without internet.
Running things locally gives you that independence.
And it speaks to the flexibility we were just discussing.
Okay, with that in mind, they do ask students to look up GPU and NPU,
Always good to keep people engaged with those terms.
for sure. Then they move on to primary versus secondary storage.
Highlighting their function in a business context. RAM is volatile.
Secondary storage, like SSDs, keeps your data safe and sound.
A crucial distinction for really understanding.
Oh, yeah, uh-huh.
And more importantly, removability, so you can take it out and stick it in another machine when the first machine crashes and you have an entire 2 terabyte backup of your current machine.
That's a fantastic point about the portability of secondary storage.
You're absolutely right. That ability to physically move a drive,
It adds another layer to that idea of backup and recovery.
which, as we heard in the video, is so crucial for business continuity.
So thinking about what keeps things running smoothly.
The video then goes on to the CPU, the brain of the computer.
Absolutely. And the CPU, that's the main control center.
It's manipulating the data and basically running the whole show.
And inside the CPU is the arithmetic logic unit, or ALU.
That's the part responsible for all those basic calculations.
And also those logical operations, you know, like true or false.
Simple example, is 5 less than 6? True? Easy peasy?
It's all about breaking down those complex processes.
Right, and the CPU usually gets its data straight from RAM.
They also make sure to differentiate RAM and ROM.
ROM, or read-only memory, is non-volatile.
So it holds those critical boot up instructions
The next assignment is to find the RAM and secondary storage,
in your own computer, as you were just highlighting.
connecting it directly to running those heavy-duty programs.
And they briefly touch on using the cloud for scalability.
It all boils down to that scalability and over